Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. Hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far. And a big day yesterday in the Call of Duty world as the kickoff bracket for the Kickoff Classic in a week or so's time was officially released. Lots of talk about which team should be favourites based on this bracket, but also some spice hitting the timeline as per usual. Very much intrigued to your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, hitting the like button, it's the best thing you can do. To help the channel reach new people, please do subscribe as well if you haven't yet already. Lots I'm sure to come over these coming days and weeks especially. First of all, this from the Boston Breach side, something we imagine happening later today sometime. As Method says, new profile picture with the question mark. This is kind of their, well, what Boston Breach have had as their header for quite some time at this point. Some, you know, we were expecting, I mean, TJ did a very similar thing. Loads of people put this as kind of their, well, question mark in their bio and all this type of stuff. Now, look, we know what the name's going to be. The only thing we're lacking, I'm pretty sure right now, is the branding. Boston Breach tweet this out as well on their official account right now, so you can see kind of a breach in the background going on right here. Kind of interesting to see exactly what's happening. But, I mean, yeah, still, pretty sure that's the only thing we're lacking. We know what the team's going to be, we know what the players are going to be, we know what the general manager and the coach are in terms of, well, Zed and Dens respectively, or Dens is the GM, Zed is the coach, and I mean, yeah, the only thing we're lacking is the branding right now. And even the CDL, right, where they released their brackets, they just referred to this team as the Boston team. No official name yet, because this isn't like yet an official account, but it will be relatively soon. This also from COD Gamepedia, it was noticed that a new trademark went into effect covering merchandise, other potential items. So yeah, Boston Breach is almost certainly the name we're going to be having. Honestly, it's kind of growing on me. I kind of like it at this point. Similar in a way to you know, Ultra's name, maybe that doesn't really make too much sense, but maybe it'll kind of grow on people over time. Also reminds me of the phenomenal Black Ops 3 map called Breach, so you know, always good times. And this also, right, as Crow notices that whenever they're playing scrims, right, Methods and Co, Methods, TJ, Capsule, and Nero, you well, they update their Twitter location, or at least as you can see right here, they update their Twitter location every single map they play to you know, gather to, or whatever the case might be. So pretty much confirmed. This also makes, right, because I guess some people might have been well, taking this to a troll level, because of course we talked a couple of days ago, what is X's like chapter 2 or whatever he was describing it as? Is it like just co-host of the flank, or is there something more to it? Is he going to be working with the team, with the league, or you know, who knows, right? Now of course he tweets this out. He doesn't actually, maybe he did change his profile picture for a bit and now it's changed back, so you know, he's probably just trolling, but still, maybe there's something going on there. Not really sure there's any roles really left over at Boston, right? Because they've got a GM, they've got a coach in Dens and Zed respectively, as we talked about. So you know, I'm not really sure what Paddy P would do over there if he was to join that organisation. This also from Zero, right? He's obviously trolling in this one. He's a player for London. Doubt he's going to change allegiances anytime soon. But of course, there is a possibility these two teams could match up at the Kickoff Classic. We'll have a look at it right here. This also, though, from the Octane Esports, so of course the ownership group for Boston Breach. They've partnered with like the Craft Esports Ventures or whatever they're being called. Big announcement tomorrow, of course, that being today. What could it possibly be? So, you know, we're very much expecting that Octane Esports are going to announce their roster, probably some lime later today, and the branding and all that type of stuff. So, you know, I probably won't make an emergency video on it because we pretty much know what it's going to be. But yeah, tomorrow we'll talk about it if they do confirm it. And honestly, at this point, it's probably about time, 1 week or so before the Kickoff Classic, you know, begins, that, you know, we actually get some sort of announcement as to what this 12th team is going to be finally. But, you know, it's been an interesting waiting game, no doubt. This also, just to mention before we talk about the Kickoff Classic bracket from Crone, Ravens are going to sign Harry. This is kind of my guess a couple of days ago. The Ravens are going to pick him up. One of the hottest prospects really in the European challenger scene, especially the last year or so. Ravens are going to get him. So honestly, they're really building a formidable roster in terms of, well, starting players and also talent on the bench. So really excited for what London might be able to do this year after last year obviously was a bit of a shambles after they had a pretty good Modern Warfare. Top 4 at champs, of course, I'm sure you guys remember. Let's discuss this then from the Call of Duty League, the official Kickoff Classic bracket. Which matchup are you looking forward to? So the way this works is, we knew there was going to be 4 teams getting buys. This is straight single elimination. There was some talk about, okay, we wish it was double elim. At the end of the day, if you were going to do this as double elim, with the fact that the CDL doesn't want to do like a Bravo stream, it would take days, right? So okay, they're just going to do single elimination, and well, this is how it goes. So 4 teams get buys. Interestingly enough, I thought they might do the top 4 teams in terms of points from last year, which would have been FaZe, Dallas, like maybe Toronto was second actually, but FaZe, Dallas, Toronto, and then I think pretty sure OpTic were 4th or something. Now, you know, of course, Dallas and OpTic are now the same organization, so I thought they might like, well, shift New York up into that 4th spot, but actually what they've done instead, maybe to get around that issue, is just use the top 4 from the World Championship, right? So FaZe, Rokkr, OpTic, and Ultra, those are the top, I mean, OpTic came top 6 actually, but it's now, I guess it's still the Texas, the Dallas spot or whatever, that OpTic have now inherited. So that's how they've done it. So Rokkr get the buy instead of maybe New York could have got the buy on points, but you know, Rokkr are the team that gets the buy right here. So that means that on the left-hand side, these are the first round of matchups. Surge versus Ravens. This is firstly really exciting because this is kind of the battle, in my opinion, of the 2 dark horses for the season. Both teams that, young players, maybe not going to be phenomenal early on, but have a real potential, I think, to make some crazy runs and honestly produce some great upsets. So really excited to see who wins this. I think it could be a cracking series, and they could take it to FaZe, I think, in this second matchup right here that goes on the Saturday. So Friday effectively is the first round matchup. So single elim, whoever loses these is straight up out of the tournament, and there's $30,000 for a first place prize. Not a massive prize pool or anything, but there's something on the line, right? So pretty cool to see regardless. Now, Subliners versus Boston. This to me is very interesting, right? Because Subliners just come back from a break in New York. Like, how good they actually going to be? Of course, we expect them to be one of the top 4 teams in the league, or at least I am expecting them to be at some point in the season, maybe not right at the start. And Boston, as of late, have been looking really good in scrim. So that's a really exciting matchup. Thieves versus Legion, of course. I mean, LA Thieves are baiting on the timeline, or at least joking on the timeline. We'll have to look at it in a second. That they've been given a nice free buy in the round 1 here, just like these other 4 teams. But who knows what Paris can do? I think that Paris are one of those teams. They can maybe win 1 series, but I just don't see them putting together 2 series in a row. They might beat Thieves. That'd be a big upset and a big surprise. But still, I think we want Thieves versus OpTic, right? Envoy versus OpTic, that kind of storyline. That'd be a nice and exciting one. And that Mutineers versus Guerrillas, another pretty exciting series. Both teams that it's a little bit difficult to say how they're performing right now. We haven't seen all that much in them in scrims. So I think the first round matchups are pretty good. Of course, I guess we can do predictions in the coming days. Then we'll talk about what happens on Saturday then theoretically. So FaZe play the winner of Seattle, London. Then Rokkr play the winner of New York and Boston. So as I say, I guess there is a world in which Boston versus London is a semi-final. Relatively unlikely though. So Rokkr versus the winner of this. I think honestly the winner of this could be coming in hot. Try to guess there is a day between the matchups. Doesn't really make that much difference. It's kind of a classic CDL thing where you just go into the day and play like 1 game, as opposed to back in the CWL days, you'd play match after match after match, right, day after day. So you could really warm up into it, and that's kind of what OpTic found. Like, at least traditionally, they might start slow on the Friday, but as the weekend continued, they'd get hotter and hotter. Not really a thing anymore, right? You just play 1 game a day, at least in this format. So then you've got OpTic versus, theoretically LA Thieves, you would think. And if they win that, they may well play the Ultra. So who knows what's going to happen this weekend? I'm sure there's going to be upsets. But, still, we could get, theoretically, in the semi-finals, OpTic versus Ultra, which would be really exciting, because that's the team that OpTic just could not beat last year with last year's roster. And maybe this year they'll have a better chance. And it's already very interesting seeing this bracket, right? Because, of course, FaZe are going to have to win 3 series to win the tournament. If they do, they're going to have to beat Seattle or London, then Rokkr, New York or Boston, and then whoever comes out of the lower half. Now, still, if FaZe don't win this tournament, already there's questions, right? Because last year, I'm pretty sure they played like 1 show match. They lost it to Florida Mutineers, and, people were talking about it. Of course, this is a proper tournament. If they lose any matchups, it's going to be really interesting to see how this goes. Of course, it's pre-season, but it's very close to the start of the season. A very good indication of how these teams are going to be matching up. A lot of people would say FaZe, OpTic, maybe the 2 favorites here, but certainly some other teams that could compete. Ultra, we don't really know how good they're going to be. Haven't seen too much of them in terms of practice. New York, they can make a run. Rokkr, of course, are there or thereabouts as well, and who knows what these other teams could pull off. So really exciting bracket. I think it's nicely done. We should get a cracking matchup in the final, whichever team it happens to be. Of course, expecting FaZe to come through. I think OpTic versus Ultra would be exciting, and OpTic versus LA Thieves, hopefully we get that one, because that's another spicy one, right? Envoy versus his old team. This also, speaking of LA Thieves, nice that we got that round 1 bye, they say, in regard to, of course, paying Paris in the very first round. And of course, you'd think, okay, Paris, they're going to come back, they're going to clap back, they're going to say something or other. I'm sure this is already being saved in the draft, right, by some of the Twitter guys. I'm pretty sure Crone said he saved it in his drafts as and when Paris do end up beating LA Thieves, because often this stuff does come back to bite some organizations. But again, as Crone says, log in and fight back. And TacticalRab Academy point out that their final tweet of 2021 was just, goodbye 2021, and maybe what they meant their New Year's resolution just not to tweet for the entire year. And some people were saying that their password must have expired or something by not logging in for a very long time. So it doesn't seem like they've got a clapback as yet for LA Thieves. This also, as Maloney says from New York, LAT loses round 1 and makes a roster change immediately after. Remember this tweet, and Clayster with a pretty funny reply. But again, we'll see if LA Thieves have the same philosophy in terms of making a load of roster changes that they did last year. This also, as Codley point out, just to say, join us live at Esports Stadium Arlington, because we talked a couple of days ago that this Halo event coming up in February, I'm pretty sure at Anaheim, is going to be run without spectators. And, I was thinking, okay, are the Call of Duty League going to do the same thing here? Hoping they wouldn't. And pretty much this tweet kind of just says, okay, it's going to go ahead with spectators and all that stuff. So great stuff, all things considered. And of course, tickets still available if you guys are local and are very keen to attend. This also noticed from COD Game Pedro, I thought was actually pretty cool, right? Of course, this is things that, okay, it should be in the game. Maybe we shouldn't be celebrating it. It should be coming as standard. But still, there's going to be XP and in-game items for viewers during the Kickoff Classic. This is something that was a massive boost, I'm pretty sure, to Halo, right? Because they had drops and stuff that were enabled on a lot of the big streamers. And, obviously, this stuff isn't spectacular. It's some calling cards, it's some emblems, it's some, weapon jumps and stuff like this. Nothing phenomenal, but still, it's something nonetheless, right? And if these continue to improve and get better over time, then yeah, it's pretty cool. Frankly, we're getting this before the season even begins. I think we got this for champs back in like Modern Warfare, and maybe sometime last season as well. There were some things going on, but to have them straight away this year, like, you know, it's okay, right? We're not going to celebrate incredibly, but it's still a W. We'll take a W at this point. This is Turtle point out, and a very fair point at that. The fact that, yes, we're not far away from the league, and still, there's no official 12th team name. I guess that's coming today. No official third game mode. Like, well, there is an official third game mode in Control. How does it going to play? We don't even know. Like, we're hoping it's going to get fixed probably like today or tomorrow or something. I think there's a new patch update coming on Tuesday, which is, of course, today. So hopefully something happens that we can discuss tomorrow. And no official schedule of matches for the season, right? But still, you know, we got to look at the positives. I think some fair points from Turtle. It's not, this isn't going to paper over all the cracks of the league, but it's still nice to see that something good is coming just around the corner. This also, just to mention as we close out the video, kind of the Call of Duty community stays carrying the CDL on its back. But, you know, we've got Scump right here, the 4th most tweeted about esports athlete, as they call them, of the year, right? Some, you know, Mongrel and these guys are pretty, you know, Scump just doing his thing. You know how it goes with Scump at this point. There was also this, right, in terms of top gaming creators by most video views, I guess, on Twitter. So Scump, like, posts these clips and stuff like that. And he's number 4 here. So, you know, Scump killing it as usual. No real surprise at this point. Also, this, right, though, the Call of Duty League, the 2nd most talked about esports league on Twitter in 2021. Now, of course, how much of that was positive, how much of that is negative? That's another question. But as you can see, like, you know, this is, I guess, League of Legends. Call of Duty League number 2 tweeted about League, then Valorant, then Overwatch, then the LCS official. So I think this might be like Brazilian League of Legends or something, but, you know, whatever, like Brazilian scene stays winning. But yeah, Call of Duty League here in 2nd. I mean, yeah, we just, the COD community just doesn't fail to amaze. So every single time, like, the league might not be in the greatest spot, but, you know, Call of Duty League still killing it on all fronts. So, you know, credit to the boys. Like, we do our best to keep the league on our backs, and, you know, Scump's obviously doing his best as well. Thank you, folks, for supporting me, and obviously all that type of good stuff as well. And just to finish off with this, I do wonder at this Kickoff Classic if we are going to get any spicy moments, right? aBeZy like shooting some bodies. If they do play LA Thieves, of course, it would be all the way in the grand finals, given they're on the opposite side of the bracket. But still, who knows if we're going to get some more entertaining moments like this. But very much intrigued your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, hitting the like button tells the YouTube god this is a good video, and it's like you should see it as well. And I've grown the competitive Call of Duty community. Thank you once again, as always, take care, and I will see you next time.